Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to Wolfenstein? Yeah, if you didn't see the last episode, we found the secret level. Or I should say one of the secret levels. There are two. They're both actually based off of Wolfenstein. So, this is the first one. And I feel like it's important for me to mention, Nazism is wrong and evil. And Adolf Hitler was a terrible person. Don't be this guy. You would think that would be easy, but, apparently not for our last president here in the United States. So, usually YouTubers are like, well, I don't want to get political. And I have no problem calling out Nazis, saying, hey, don't be one. It's really not hard. Like, legitimately, it really is not hard to not be an evil, terrible person. You would think that anyway, but instead, we have plenty of horrible people in the world. So, and you, dear viewer, I hope are not one of them. I have every confidence that you are not. So, don't make me regret that. That's all I can say. I'm sure that you wouldn't, dear viewers. So, I'm sure that all of you are great people. Probably vastly better than I am, but, if you watch this channel, I assume you really can't be that terrible, because most of the people that I'm talking about are usually pretty anti-trans, and considering that, I am a trans streamer, it doesn't really make sense for people who are anti-trans to watch this, well, I shouldn't say streamer, I suppose, because I'm a YouTuber. But still, I think I have a vague recollection that there was like a secret in one of these. No? Guess not. Yeah, I guess it doesn't show up on the map as anything, so I guess maybe not. So, oh well. I had a vague recollection of there being something in one of those, but it didn't seem like there was. So, maybe I missed it. Who's up 'em? Obviously, the Pinky Demons are not a holdover from Wolfenstein. I think they're replacing the Hounds that were in these levels. Also, one little interesting tidbit about this version of the level over the original Wolfenstein. All of the enemies in here are either the Pinky Demon or they're the blue, evil people. And there actually was like only a couple of the blue guys in the original level, in the original Wolfenstein. Most of them were pretty standard Nazis, right? They weren't these, heavy, the heavy Nazis. Obviously, this wasn't in Wolfenstein either, so there's that. interestingly enough, I feel like Wolfenstein is a little more advanced even, because the reason this is here is because in the original, when you pushed on this block, it actually went backwards until it stopped here. And Doom doesn't have that. That there aren't any, like, moving blocks, you know, that they don't, like, slide forward and backwards and stuff. So, like, I feel like Wolfenstein was a little bit, like, more advanced because of just the fact that it could do that. Which is funny because everything I have ever, like, learned about Wolfenstein indicates that it came out first. Like, the original Wolfenstein came out before even the first Doom, from what I understand. I mean, I could be completely wrong about that, but that's what I've always, like, thought and heard. So it wasn't until Doom that Wolfenstein became, like, or that, like, it became, like, super popular. But it actually worked on quite a few other games before Wolfenstein and Doom. In fact, Wolfenstein was actually it was an upgrade. I could not think of the right word. But it was kind of like an upgrade from their previous game that it had made. I don't know if it's just like the company or if it was like John Carmack and John Romero that had made the previous game too. But before Wolfenstein, they actually made a game called Catacombs. id Software, I mean, made Catacombs. Is it not in this room? It's in a room that looks like this. One of the wall opens up. But it was one of my, like, all-time favorite, like, old games. I played that game so much as a kid. But you're a wizard whose job it is to defeat the evil lich Nemesis. Or I should say, your job was to defeat your nemesis, the arch-lich Nemesis. Nemesis was actually his name, yes. Again, it was an old game. But your task was to fight the arch-lich Nemesis, who was your nemesis. It wasn't just that Nemesis was his name, but he was also your nemesis. You went around with, like, you cast what they called magic missile. There's just like a tiny little, like, fireball spell. If you're familiar with, like, 5th edition D&D, it would be the equivalent of, like, Firebolt from that game. But they called it magic missile. But in the game, you could pick up these, like, orbs that gave you 2 different abilities. They were called the Exterminator, with an X, by the way, because of course. But the Exterminator, along with the Zapper. And the Exterminator, as you might suspect, you know, based off of the name, would shoot the little, like, X fireball. Or it would shoot the little, like, fireball in like an X shape around you. There it is. Secret is revealed. Meanwhile, the Zapper was very much not what its name suggests at all. It shot straight forward. It shot like 20 like fire of the little like fireballs, the magic missiles, like straight forward. So, congratulations, you found the super secret level. Better blaze through this one. I'm definitely saving before getting into this because this level is not easy. So this level is actually, this level, Gross, is actually based off of the last level of the first, like, episode of Wolfenstein. So, and basically, you know, you enter here at the beginning of the level. There's this big open space here. And there's a few guys that come out. And in the original Wolfenstein, right through that door in the back there, was Hitler. In a giant mech. I'm not kidding. If you haven't played the original Wolfenstein, like, I'm not kidding. He was literally in, like, a giant mech that had, like, 2 chain guns on it. He was very hard. I don't think I ever actually beat him. And having never beaten that, even though I did own, like, all of the original Wolfenstein, I never, like, progressed any further in the game. So I have no idea beyond that, you know, what the rest of the game looked like. But I remember, I actually remember seeing this episode, this level, Gross, first. And being like, well, this is a cool, you know, level. And, you know, not thinking too much of it. But then, like, finally getting to that last level in the first episode of Wolfenstein. And I was just like, holy crap, it's Gross. So, like, and, like, all of the secrets are the same, too, by the way. Like, all of these, like, secrets that, you know, I'm, like, walking in and picking up, these are all in the same spots in Wolfenstein. So, now what's behind them may not be. And again, this is an interesting thing because in in Doom, it's just a door that goes up. In Wolfenstein, that block went right there. You know, it went backwards and slid into right to that spot. So, so here's what I'm gonna do. We defeated the Cyber Demon last time easy mode by using invincibility. And there is an invulnerability right there that I could pick up and I could easy mode this again. But since this is the Cyber Demon's big, like, secret level, I want to see if I can fight it legit. You know, without, I mean, picking up the invulnerability is still legit. But I want to see if I can do it, like, without the invincibility, so. This is going to be very difficult. I mean, I could use the BFG on him. If I really wanted to. But I want to, you know, see what... Oh, frick, that hurts. I want to see what I can do otherwise. I'm going to try to avoid picking up that Megasphere again until, like, I finish the level. Like, I'll pick it up after I, like, defeat the Cyber Demon, but I want to see if I can do it without picking that up. You know. Oh my god. I don't know how I'm, like, dodging and weaving so, like, perfectly. I mean, it's not perfect, but You know, I am, like, you know, getting hit. Got him! Oh my gosh! I really did! First try! That's awesome! So, again, this is another one where it's like, this lit up, but this would have actually gone there, so... but yeah, cool! That was actually, like, super easy. And I don't remember the Cyber Demons being, like, easy at all. So I am excited because I, like, defeated that, you know, pretty legit and all that, so... That said, this wouldn't be an id game without one final reference to something else that id Software did years upon years upon years ago. Commander Keen. There he is. There he be. There he is. Nope, that was the wrong button. There he is. There's Commander Keen. Poor Commander Keen. He had 8 games, though. Like, he had a lot of games. So actually, in the original, like, Wolfenstein, when you went through this door, it actually just led into, like, the outside. This was actually, like, an outdoor area. And as soon as you, like, touched, basically, like, here, outside the door, the level was over. But this is, you know, not Wolfenstein. It's a corruption of Wolfenstein, essentially. And we are in the pits of hell, as you can see below us. So, I guess that means the only option is to murder Commander Keen. Classic Commander Keen sound effects. I played this game way too much as a kid. The Commander Keen games, I mean. Bang! Bang! There we go. And then after you kill all 4 Commander Keens, this opens. Funny enough, if you activate this level with no monsters, the Commander Keens are still here. So... Alright, now we're out of the secret levels into the actual game once more. Into the suburbs. Bang! I figured I had the health. I might as well, you know, go ahead and have some fun with it. Because I had that Magosphere. So, figured, you know, I had that Magosphere from earlier. That, you know, technically, yes, that's, like, not legit, because it, you know, it's a respawn, but I don't care. But that's also part of why I was like, you know, I can do this, because technically I wouldn't, like, normally have that HP and such. So, God, I hate Archviles. They're very hard to stun. And if you don't stun them, they become very difficult to deal with. Whoa! Oh, here's more monsters that are not actually summoning in, but they appear to be due to, you know, where they're placed and how that works. So, I like showing off the fact that I, you know, have some know-how about video games. And I'm sure that, like, most people that are into Doom, especially, you know, 1 and 2 like this, like, they probably know all these tricks. And somebody's probably like, well, yes, Serene, seriously, like, everybody, like, literally everybody knows that's how it works, you know? But, like, I don't know. I like showing off that I know things. And maybe it's just because, you know, I grew up in a time where knowing stuff like that about, like, video games was, like, rare. But I've always thought, you know, showing off and, like, being like, you know, showing off your know-how like that. To be like, hey, you know, this is really cool, right? So, but, again, maybe that's just me. Here's a cool little effect that they've got going on. That's just a texture on the back of the wall there. Also, I think, is it that one that does something? There's one of these somewhere in the game. Like, it looks like this, but you step up to it and it activates stuff. And it's literally just, again, because of these lines here, like those are like engineered to actually do the thing. But it makes it seem like you're touching that and activating it, even though you're not. So, just all the neat little, like, tricks, you know? Like, back then they couldn't do this thing, but they sure as heck made you think they could, you know? I just think that's really cool. The way old games did stuff that games do nowadays. Oh, that hurts. I'm down to 1 hit point. Like, old games doing things that you look at nowadays and you're like, oh yeah, every video game, you know, has this kind of a mechanic in it. And it's like, back then, that was revolutionary that such a mechanic could even exist. You know? Ah! He scared the crap out of me. I was like, yeah, he's right there. What the? I've been in this room. Where did he even come from? I just thought, like, oh, I must have missed that. You know, I must have missed to go in that door. But I've literally been in that room. It's like, where did he come from? Oh, frick. Oh, frick. Alright. Sorry, when I go, like, silent like that, it's because I'm, like, really focused on whatever's going on. So I'm like, hang on. Like, that's the problem with, like, doing something like this where you're doing it solo. Because it's like, normally, you know, you could just have, you know, I could have, you know, the Danny to me, you know, Aaron kind of thing. You know, Game Grumps. You know, Danny and Aaron and all. Like, you know, having that, like, second person to, you know, commentate during moments where you can't yourself. But unfortunately, that's not always a thing. You know? Unfortunately, like, I don't have that ability to, you know, have somebody else. Not for lack of trying. I have talked to some, like, friends and such, and have been like, hey, you know, does the idea of, you know, joining me, you know, it interests you? And more often than not, it's a, yes, it does. Unfortunately, the time that you record is not good. Like, if I could record, like, during the day, then I would have, like, 30 people that all want to join. And that's a good thing, you know. That's not a bad thing. The bad part is that I don't, because I don't have, because, you know, I can't record during, like, the day. You know, I have to record during the night because of, again, family. So, as I have mentioned a few times, so, part of me wants to be like, I should mention this every episode that I post, so that, like, maybe one of these times, you know, I'll, like, say it, and, like, somebody will watch it and be like, oh, you know, this is, like, a bad situation, I'd like to help. But another part of me is like, yes, but what about, you know, everybody else watching? You know? Yes, it might be true that, you know, I could end up getting one person that's like, oh, you know, this is really, like, unfortunate. You know, I want to, you know, help this person out. But then, like, the repeat viewer, you know, those of you who are, you know, watching and have watched multiple, like, episodes, sometimes in a row, you know, and it's like, see, at that point, if I was a viewer, I'd be like, yes, Serene, you mention this every episode. It's really annoying because, like, it's like I as a viewer know that that's going on, you know, your situation, because, you know, I've watched, like, 15 of your videos, but, like, you know, it would be for that, like, one person, right? And I don't know what I should be balancing for, you know? Should I be balancing for, you know, the possibility of the one viewer? Not even a guarantee, a possibility of a one viewer. Or should I, you know, just expect that most of the people watching are going to be, you know, repeats? So, alright, I'm gonna save because I'm gonna need this invincibility here in a second. Because after I deal with these guys up there, I'm gonna get a ton of enemies to spawn in. So, like, once I run up there, I'm gonna have a mass of enemies to spawn in. And it's going to suck. I'd like to get a little bit more health, but I guess as long as I have the invincibility, I'm probably fine. I just really dislike the, like, really bright white. I don't suppose there's any kind of, like, video options to, like, disable any of that. Is there? Dynamic lighting, FOV. I'm trying not to, like, take too long is the other thing. You know, normally I would, like, you know, sit here and try to, like, you know, see if there's something I can do to change it or whatever. But, like, instead I'm just quickly kind of looking through everything to see if there are any options for that. Just because, like, it's really annoying, you know? And I would really like to disable that. If anybody knows if there's an option to, like, disable the like, special, like, thing, you know, like, screen things, to, like, make it so that, you know, when I pick up, like, an invincibility, it's not, like, pure white, you know. But, like, if anybody knows, you know, if there's an option for that, let me know. I don't know if it's going to matter fully or not, because I don't know when this episode will air versus, say, you know, like, you know, when I finish, like, the game, right? But still, if it is an option and it's something I can change, I would very much like to. Don't actually stand there, or I'll get telefragged. This is why I needed the invincibility. Unfortunately, it's running out, and I've still got most of the big enemies left. I mean, granted, I probably could just run back and get the freaking invincibility again. But I do kind of try, you know, to not, you know, to not utilize the you know, refreshing items as much as possible. So, oh good, now it's flashing because the radiation suit wore off. Honestly, the best option for this, or I should say the most efficient option, is to, God, that is really terrible. Like, that bothers my eyes every time it switches off of that. It always has. Even when I was, like, young, it bothered me. But still. Again, this game was made before, like, epilepsy was really, like, well known, so. Unfortunately, there are things like that in these old games. Shouldn't need to pick that up anymore, though, so. Should be alright. But, what was I saying? Like, even as, like, a kid, that, like, you know, bothered me. So. Ow. Frick. This has not lowered. This, like, thing here. This is not lowered. I don't remember how to lower it. I know that there's, I think it's just an enemy in there, but it does lower. I just don't remember how to make it lower, so. But we have the red key. That's the most important thing. So. Oh, frick. I forgot about that guy. Like, I killed that one, but I didn't get that one, so. Lots of imps. Not too difficult to handle if you do it right, you know. I mean, what are they gonna do? Shoot fireballs at you? Not too difficult if you know what you're doing. It's in, like, Doom 3 where they can, like, leap at you that you have to, like, be careful. So. Alright. 100%. Okay, maybe there wasn't an enemy behind that. I don't know. Tenements. Oh, this level. Yay. Well, I'm going to end it here. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe. You can check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. You can check down below for a link to my Patreon as well. I don't think I mentioned that the last two. Oh my god. Last two episodes because I forgot. But it really does help out the channel a lot. There might be a link to a coffee as well. If you want just like a one-time, you know, donation type thing, as opposed to like a subscription type thing. So, oh, there's also a link to Discord. I keep forgetting. I do have a Discord server. You can come hang out with us, chat, and things like that. So, feel free to come on out, hang out with us, and so on. And with that, I guess I'll see you all next time. Wow, that didn't even kill any of them. I don't think it even did damage to any of them. Just want to kill these guys before. I don't even have the red key, but like, you know, kill them before I have to open the door. That way I don't have to worry about it when I open the door. So, but yeah, I will see you all next time. See you later. Oh my god, go away.